Well, joining us now via Skype is Dr. Stephen Schneck to talk about a television series for the History Channel called Jesus, His Life. Thanks for being with us.
Oh, it's my pleasure to be here. Really delighted, actually.
Jesus' His Life is a 4-week television event premiering on the History Channel on Monday, and it's, of course, a perfect fit for Lenten viewing. Maybe if you could talk about your role as well as a consultant for the series.
Well, I think I was originally brought in because I, have a little bit of expertise about the government of the Roman Empire and, the political implications of early Christianity. But, pretty quickly I got, sucked into reviewing scripts and looking at rough cuts. I mean, it was actually a lot of fun, I have to say.
Wow. Dr. Schneck, Jesus' life, as I have learned, is told through the unique lens of some of those people who were closest to him. Tell us what you thought about taking that approach.
I actually loved that approach. I mean, it really allows us to see Jesus kind of in the flesh as he was a man, going through the 3 years of his ministry. And if I could just say, to give you a sense of how it works, that this first episode that airs on Monday on the History Channel is about Joseph. And, one of the interesting things is the way they treat the emotions of Joseph when he finds out that his betrothed is pregnant. I mean, it's just, it was so very, very, very interesting approach to the life of Christ.
Wow. Well, we're watching a clip of the series right now, and maybe if you could speak about, people might think this would be a great viewing for a religious channel or something like that, but what drew the History Channel's attention to this project?
Well, I think for practical reasons, they aired the Bible series, a miniseries a year ago, and it was a huge hit. So I think that was obviously, one of the reasons. But I also think that there's a great deal of secular interest in the life of Christ, for historical reasons and for the kind of the spiritual yearning of our age, I would argue. So, I think the History Channel is just tapping into that reality.
When I preach at confirmations in particular, I always speak about my personal relationship with Jesus. And I remind the young people, their sponsors, and all those who are gathered there in the church of the reality of this person who died and is truly alive and risen in our lives. And it seems to me that a project like this and a series like this is going to be a great teaching tool about the reality of the person of Jesus and who he is for us as our Savior and friend. Do you agree with that, Doctor?
Oh, Bishop, you said it better than I could possibly say it. In fact, I tried to get at that a little bit when I said you really do encounter the man of Jesus among his friends and, frankly, among some of his enemies. And it gives you a real sense of the humanity of Christ as well as the divinity of Christ.
Could you talk about the production itself, Doctor? It looks like a very well produced production, and what it entailed, maybe some of the things that you might have seen in the process.
Well, it's filmed in North Africa using the same set, some of the same set that was used for the Bible miniseries before. The actors are all unbelievable. I think there's not a single over-the-top actor in the bunch, and so this really has a very professional quality to the whole thing. And, one of the things that continues to strike me is how historically accurate it is, from the clothing to the technology to the nature of government, the nature of the Jewish, kingdom at this time. It was all just fascinating stuff.
You've recently retired as director of the Institute for Policy Research and Catholic Studies at Catholic University of America, and I know you frequently served as a resource for media on Catholicism. How important, in your estimation, is the role of media for our church in our contemporary culture?
Yeah. Well, for better or for worse, Bishop, I think media is increasingly, where people encounter reality these days. It's media where people meet other people. It's media where we get a sense of what the world is like. And as I say, for better or for worse. And so, because though that is the reality, I think it's utterly crucial for the church and the modern world to be fully engaged in media. And thank the Lord for shows like This Is the Day. I mean, it really, we need 100 more shows like This Is the Day. I think it's critical for the church's mission in the modern world.
And Jesus' life is another great example of the use of media to interact with our contemporary culture. When can we look forward to watching this great series on the History Channel?
Well, it starts on Monday at 8 o'clock on the History Channel, and it will be with the season opener is about Joseph. There's going to be 2 a week. Immediately on Tuesday, John the Baptist will air, and then after that, every week, Mary is in the second week along with Caiaphas. In the third week, it's Judas and Pilate. And in Holy Week, it's Mary Magdalene and Peter. And by the way, the Peter episode is outstanding.
Well, Dr. Schneck, thank you for taking the time to be with us, to alert us to this great media event coming up so that we can come to know Jesus better through the eyes and the persons who knew him so well when he walked this earth. May you have a blessed Lent.
My pleasure, Bishop. All the best to you guys.
Okay, God bless.